All right, guys, I'm not going to pretend to be a guru, but most of my stuff I'm not talking or I'm just being stupid. But I've talked to a few people in the community, and I think it's all mutually agreed that what the grip community does lack sometimes is a good amount of educational backfilling of traditional training science that would obviously benefit grip-specific training. So I just want to take a second to kind of give you a rundown of what I do and kind of how I like to process information. I'm not going to be able to cover it all in a quick time frame, so if you have questions, just add to the comments, right? So really quick, I've challenged myself by January 23rd. I want to hit a 1,200 pound total in the axle, squat, bench, and deadlift. Main reason, buddy of mine that I work with is going to be leaving then, and it's just a checkpoint, it's a finish line, something to give me to do to occupy myself and give me something to look forward to. So I've got about 4 weeks, so 3 days a week is my preference, and I've got a few things I need to do. I need to reacclimatize myself to squat, bench, and not as much deadlift, but obviously I haven't been squatting and benching nearly as heavy as I could in the past. So the way I like to break this down, as far as squat, bench, and deadlift goes, my deadlift might be the closest right now, so I'm going to deprioritize that in favor of squat and bench press. Obviously, I'm going to put squat at the beginning of the week, since that's going to be the biggest and most taxing lift. I want to be fresh coming off the weekend. I don't want to be bogged down by driving, walking, work stress, all that stuff. So day one, squats, RDLs, calves. RDLs most likely going to be with a Saxon or an axle bar just for fun, because I'm not going to just get rid of grip entirely. Day two, that's going to be the very next day. I like to kind of bunch 2 of my 3 days in the same 24-hour cycle. Helps me get a bit more recovery. I'm going to do my pressing, pull downs, and curls, right? Day 3, pull downs, rows, or 2-way laterals, triceps. The way that I like to do that is so that if I do some variation of pressing and pulling on day 2 and have to skip day 3, I'm still going to get some good work in. But as you can see here, if I had an exclamation point, check mark, and a down arrow, that's going to be my highest intensity. It's going to be moderate intensity, obviously lower intensity. So day 3 is the day that I can afford to skip and still feel like I'm moderately on track, right? So the big thing here is I'm not necessarily reaching a new height. I'm not learning a new lift. I'm reacclimatizing myself. I'm trying to get adjusted to a thing I've done before. So as far as being 4 weeks out, we know that the 4th week is going to be our test and deload week, so there's no sense in thinking we're going to be able to make progress there. So we've got about 3 weeks to do a couple of things. Practice form, re-ingrain good techniques, and titrate up our intensity so that our nervous system isn't so jolted by all this at one time. So 4 sets of 3 at 315, 1 week, week 2, 3 sets of 2 at 340, week 3, 2 sets of 1 at 365. My plan here is that as intensity with the weight goes up, my total volume goes down. And the reason that I lower the number of sets is because that's going to account for the warm-up flights that we have to get there, right? More warm-ups, still same number of sets, but we're going to lower the total number of sets that we expect to hit our higher performing weights at. So over here, so we'll make a few points. There's a difference between gaining and regaining, right? So I haven't had any sort of, chronic debilitating illnesses or diseases. I'm predominantly healthy, 35-year-old male. So I wouldn't expect a lot of regression in strength. It's more about just getting our coordination back, getting our neural drive back, making sure the connective tissues and the muscle tissue is healthy and that the joints don't hurt. I'm not necessarily building new strength. I'm just regaining strength that has been dormant, for a better word, right? We talk about mitigating load conditioning. There's a couple things we have to think about: endurance, volume, recovery, and the relearning curve. In 3 weeks, I'm not going to gain a ton of endurance. If I do too much volume, it's going to affect my recovery. And while I'm doing this, I still have to relearn these lifts, relearn the coordination, and also rebuild my confidence, right? So keep in mind, strength increasing is a multifactorial response. It is a multifactorial experience. It is not just muscles get stronger. It is not just your nervous system gets stronger. There's a lot of things happening. Some of my strength increase is going to be relative to the environment, to the strategy, to the execution. I'm not building new strength. It is just awakening. It is coming back. It's coming back online, right? So keep in mind, perspective is not reality with output or total performance. So if you've got other questions, let me know. I can only cover it so fast, but have fun. Let me know if you